We're back once again, only on it's After Hours, only on the After Hours YouTube channel. And now join me here on the line with this young lady here. I am smitten. I'm already trying to figure out how to be near this my crush here. She's absolutely gorgeous, and at the Red Carpet Awards at AVN, she was the belle of the ball, and a lot of people are talking about her. 2023 is going to be a big year. I'm guaranteeing it. I give you the sexy, the curvaceous, the voluptuous. I give you Amanda Thickk. So, Amanda, let's start off with AVN Expo. How was it? What was your experience like? And as you said, how nice was it walking the red carpet? Looking, ooh, I look good. This dress feels perfect. Ooh, I'm hot stuff.
Well, thanks for having me on, actually. I've never done it before. This was my first AVN. This was my first red carpet. It was my first nomination. Like everything about it was like a foreign experience. It was amazing. My initial intention was go to the expo, see my friends, maybe meet some new people I can work with, that kind of a thing. And then I didn't know I was nominated until like, I don't know, a week or two later. I didn't even know, like they didn't notify me. How does that work exactly? So I found out because people were voting for me on Twitter. And I was like, what is this? Like, what am I looking at? I click on it, I see my face. I was like, what? Well, I saw more than my face. My tits are out, all the things. So it was just it was an incredible experience to be able to like get on the red carpet. I had no idea how that worked. So, you go, there's like a line of reporters, there's little spots that you stand and they ask you questions and you pose and take your picture, like everything about it. I was just like, I don't know what's happening right now. And I didn't know I was going to be on the red carpet until like maybe 2 hours before it happened. So you have people who know in advance and they know, and they've got their gowns, they're custom made and all the things. And I was like, holy shit, what's in my closet?
You
It
still
was
look good, and I was gonna say people loved your look. I mean, I think the best thing was just this earnest, like just happiness of like, oh wow, I'm here. I mean, how much of it was for you is just like cloud nine, where it's like I didn't see this coming. It's like opening the mail and finding out, hey, I won $10,000 in the sweepstakes.
yeah, it was a shock from beginning to end. Like from finding out when I found out I was even nominated, I was like falling asleep. That woke me up. And then, going and being there, red carpet, all the things, it was just like, this is surreal. And I'm not, I guess I want to use the word seasoned enough as far as modeling and whatnot, because I'm just like, I'm so excited. I'm just ear to ear smiles, right? So I'm just like, hey, I'm happy to be here. Whoa. Instead of like model face. I don't have like that, that blue steel thing from
Yeah, don't
what's
don't
that?
do that, though. That's not you, because you're this bubbly, lovable woman. But that's why we're falling in love with you here.
Oh, well, thank you.
So let's talk turkey here. So you're after the AVN now, you're planning all your stuff. You're working on future projects. How tough is that when this is like the glory days of porn where you shoot for like Vivid, Wicked. They took care of the budget. It was all like contract stars. This is like a hustle where you're gonna let's say, do I have a cameraman? No, I don't camera. I have my own camera. Do I have a lighting guy? No, I can take care of my own lighting. I'll work on that. Like, how tough is it budgeting everything to shoot for people and literally finding like, okay, well, if you provide a lighting guy, I'll provide myself and some cash for this. Like, how tough is it like trading content, figuring out stuff?
Oh my gosh, it's been the steepest learning curve of my life. I mean, look, you look at the porn industry and you think, well, they have sex and like how hard could it be? Whoa, I had no idea the depth of things with this business. So I do both, right? I've done contract jobs where I've shot with studios and like in the BBW world. So you get paid for those shoots. You don't have to worry about anything. You show up. Um, Most of the time I do my own hair, makeup, that kind of stuff. Sometimes they have a person for you, but in general, you just show up and you work. When it's your own content, that's a whole other thing. So over the course of me doing this, I've invested in a lighting system, editing software. Like you kind of have to teach yourself a lot. And I've had mentors who've helped me. who've given me feedback, who have pointed me toward resources and things. And then there's some talent that I've worked with that were really experienced and they have their own setup, and you see what they're using. You kind of, you learn with each person that you work with. And I think it was about a year in when I was started working with people and I realized I knew more than they did. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe I've actually learned some shit. Like, wait, this is kind of cool. Maybe I'm the one that's got more experience in the situation, which was new for me too. So it, you just pick up the pieces as you go. You learn from each person. You look at your own content and you think, okay, I don't like what I did there. I don't like how I did that, but I could make it better if I did this. So I'm constantly trying to upgrade everything about from the equipment and the way I do it, and all the way through how I look and how I can make it better.
But talent testing, all of a sudden, there's now more swabs, more tests, more money. How frustrating is that for people like you, who you're content creators? You make money off content, which is OnlyFans, ManyVids, other sites. It's not like you're getting a check right away. Go, okay, yeah, I got to pay $300 from my, for all these swabs, but hey, I'm getting a check for 1,500 here and there, and I can pay it off. Like I tell business sometimes, like, okay, I want to schedule content, but damn, I'm only gonna shoot like 5 or 6 content scenes. I'm not getting the money right away, and you're looking at your budget going, how am I going to pay this year? Lighting, um, content trade, food on the table. Like, how do you balance it?
That's a good question. So I think with yeah, like you were talking how when you know you're going to get paid from a shoot, it's easier to work that in. But I've done pretty well, particularly on OnlyFans. I do have bills to pay, of course, but I also batch my content as much as possible. So I'll, instead of testing every 2 weeks, like at what you would like industry standard, essentially, because mostly you can't work past 14 days on a 1-1 test. So instead of testing twice a month, what I end up doing is I'll test once a month, and I just book all of the shoots that I can inside that 2-week window. I mean, something's always going to fall off. Things happen. There's actually been times where you test and you're lucky to get one shoot. Like that's happened. And it's disappointing when those things happen, but it's just a part of the business. And I've heard the people who complain and whine about like, oh, I tested and all my shoots have canceled. And it's like, yeah, it sucks, and expect it, because nothing's gonna go perfectly right. So you kind of make it work, and I try and be smart about it. And I really won't even go and get tested unless I have at least three shoots booked in advance. I'll try and book more, knowing that probably 1 or 2 are going to fall off. So that's my strategy behind it.
How big is it testing at the Exoticas, like Exotica Chicago, Exotica Miami, Exotica New Jersey? Because at least then, okay, there's tons of talent. I can book several, 5 or 6, these scenes. I can extend a day here. I can make my money back because hey, there's talent, and if one guy falls off, hey, here's another guy. Here's another girl. There's always people.
Right. You know what though? I also like, I don't love doing a lot of filming around events either, just because you don't know how many bodies people have worked with. And it seems like at every event there's maybe a story somewhere where something doesn't go well. So I tend to not overbook myself when I travel. On this last AVN, I'm actually local in Vegas, so I don't have to travel for it, which is amazing. But in a way, it's harder because I have to travel from home, and it's like I'm home, I'm relaxed, and I'm about to like, jump into the action. So it's almost harder in that way. But I had shoots that I planned for when people were in town, particularly people who've traveled into town, because it's harder to book with them. And you're so tired from all of the activities and all the things that are going on. And it's like, oh my gosh, I got to work, but I'm so tired. Especially being independent and not being like a contractor with any particular company. If I don't have the energy, if I don't have if I'm not totally invested in that scene, I think it shows, and then it's just not going to sell well for me. So I would rather just be rested and just be in a good space before I do that. So again, when it goes back to these events, it seems like a great idea to just pack it in, but I found that I was just freaking exhausted, and I was like, no, not going to happen. So what I did is I just focused on the networking. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to meet people. We're going to talk. We're going to arrange things so that we can plan for future events. That's usually what that's been the takeaway for me.
How tough is it sometimes finding the right people? And when I mean the right people, not talent, but people can do lighting, people can do editing, people who can do camera work, people who can do makeup. Because you're always trying to find these people, whether it's you're going to a convention, you're doing your own shoot, you're at a shoot house. Like, how tough is it finding people that you can trust who get it, and you don't have to tell them like 2 or 3 times at the same time, like, hey, this is what I want, this is what's going on, this is how it's supposed to be done.
You know what? For me, this has been a pretty easy path, and I say that because I've been really lucky to work with some really great producers and some really great talent. And so every time I've worked with these people, like I was on set with Plumper Pass, right? And the girl who did my makeup was phenomenal, right? So she's local. I was like, score. There's the makeup artist. Then and then that makeup artist knows other makeup artists and that sort of thing. So, and then when it came to there was a guy that I heard of who did editing and web hosting and all the things, and I heard about him through another performer. Well, when I reached out to him, he wasn't taking anybody on. I was like, oh, that's a bummer, you know? And then fast forward, I don't know, 6 months or something, and I met him in person, and I was like, oh, you're the guy, you're the person I was like talking to in email. And then it's like it comes full circle because he knows this person and she knows this person, and I end up working with people in different projects. And so I trust them and their expertise because a lot of these people have been doing this much longer than I have. So I use those relationships to say, okay, who are your people? Who are the best? So I'm able to kind of shortcut straight to talent and straight to people that I can trust with editing or lighting or any of that, because they've already filtered through stacks of people. So I don't have to do all the work. So it helps a lot.
And I don't mean to be insultful, because as I said, I have a huge crush on you. I am just, is smitten. You probably have heard this. Oh, if you lose a couple pounds, we might have a spot for you. Hey, if you tone up a bit, we might have a spot for you. You're in that sort of like weird category where you're a BBW plumper, but you're close enough where I'm guessing, 20, 30 pounds, and Brazzers is calling, Naughty America's calling, Reality Kings, probably even Wicked going, hey, we'd love to shoot you. How tough is that when you hear that? It's like, wait a minute here. I look like a normal woman. This is what normal women look like. Nobody, most of us are not size 4. All we eat is lettuce and just, count our carbs. This is how normal people live.
Right. Well, I'll be really honest with you. I am like at this moment, I am at my heaviest I've ever been. I don't love that. And at the same time, I look at myself and I still like what I see, right? So I'm not hating my body. I'm not mad about it, but I am familiar with, I've been this size before when I was younger, and then I lost the weight, and then I had a couple of kids and I've managed to put it back on. I am in the process now of working with a trainer. I do want to lose some of the weight. I've never been skinny. I've never been like a very small body type. I love my curves. I will be toning up this year. I do want to lose some of this weight, and I know I'll still end up in the BBW category just based on what I know my body, like where I am. But you're right, it is. I'm kind of in this hybrid state. That's actually where my stage name came from, because I was trying to come up with, I'm like, I don't really even know what to say about my name. I don't know. And I was talking to a couple of producers, and they said, well, you're not really a BBW, but you're not like the other girls. Like you're thick. And I was like, well, there it is. So I'm in my own little category, but it would be great this year. I'd love to have those relationships with some of these bigger, the Brazzers and Team Skeet and all these other ones that I don't see a lot of BBWs in these companies. Even if I lost weight, I'm still not where the other girls are. So I don't really know what would happen, but I think it would be fun to find out.
So who I guess do you like working with the most? Girls and guys that it doesn't have to be sex, it's just personality, their energy, their friendship, people who you look at and go, they're just good people. I enjoy them. I want to be around them.
Um, well, when it comes to, do you mean like coming to filming or just being around them in general?
Be around them in general.
Um, that's a good question too, because I'm a woman that's always been very comfortable around men. Most of my closest friends have always been men. I'm not sure what that is. I was always kind of a tomboy growing up. That's why like all the hair and the lingerie, it's all kind of like a whole new world for me. But I have come to meet some really incredible women, particularly in this industry. And then a couple of my very close friends are women. So I think I'm at a place where I'm good with both. When it comes to working, I prefer to work with men, and I do get along really well with men. But I think I'm pretty well rounded in that I get along with people pretty easily.
So give me the bucket list, Ed. What do you want to accomplish this year? It's 2023. What do you want to accomplish in terms of, whether it's your OnlyFans, many vids, sex scenes, even business wise? Like, what are some of the things you want to accomplish?
Oh wow. Well, I want to get nominated and possibly win the AVN next year. So what that means, I want to have some fire scenes this year. Some of my earlier work was in the massage niche, and I really want to get back to that. So I want to have some really great scenes again that are like more massage focused. I want to do more traveling. There's some more talent that I haven't worked with yet that I really want to have some scenes with. And like we were just talking about, like I am curious to drop some weight and see what comes, see if there's any other opportunities that present themselves with some of the companies. So yeah, right now it's just like I just want to get the content. And I started filming VR as well. I have a couple of VR scenes, but I want more. I want that to start being a regular thing. So I'm planning to do a lot more VR this year as well.
Last question, let you go. As you mentioned, you have kids. As Heath Flair says, I got kids. They come first. Career also, though, comes a close 1B. So how tough is it sometimes for people, friends, adult, even creators to understand, like, I can't do this. Look, my kids need me. Hey, I can't do this. I have a full business. Look, I can't put my phone down. I'm expecting an emergency call. I got this. I got that. I had to upload this here. My kid is having his birthday party. I know I can't leave. Like, how tough is it for people to understand, even if it's a love life, they're third. It's kids, business, and then everybody else is a close ass third.
Right. It's so true. It's so true. I'll be honest, it's really hard. It's it's really hard. But I think a lot of the people that I work with are also parents, so that those people just understand, and I don't even have to explain anything. When they're not parents and work is their whole life, it's a little more challenging, but they know I'm a mom, so they get it. So I've been very fortunate to work with, encounter people, interact with people that understand that I have a lot of responsibility. So yeah, kids are always first. That's actually another reason I batch the content and I only test once a month, because it's easier to get help with kids and more people watching them or whatever I need to do to be able to go to work. And then I'm not working the whole month. I'm working for like 2 weeks, right? And I do my best to work when they're at school. Or previously we were going back and forth to California. Their dad is actually still in California. He's going to be moving out here. So there would be like a week and a half at a time where they were just gone. So it was easier. Now I have them full time. So it is it actually has slowed down my production of, you know, for scenes and whatnot, but I'm working on getting enough help with them to make it all work out so I can be more productive. And I have a team of people that I've kind of assembled that are going to be helping me with more of the filming and whatnot. So I think this year is going to be a lot more efficient with my time, and it has to be, because like you said, kids are first. So I'm making it work, even though it's like a crazy chaotic mess sometimes.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are proud to have on the show. I give you the sexy, the gorgeous, the voluptuous, and the very hardworking. I give you Amanda Thickk. Amanda, before I let you go, so where can fans check you out? Where's the OnlyFans, the mini vids, Twitter, Instagram? Where can fans hit you up at?
I'm on all those places you just mentioned. So Amanda Thickk with 2 Ks is pretty much the handle on my Twitter, my OnlyFans. On Instagram, it's Amanda_Thickk. And I did just set up a page. It's called solo.to/Amanda Thickk. And that has all my links. It's like a link menu for everything. So I'm everywhere, many vids. I'm going to start putting things on other platforms, so you'll see me in more places. But for now, yeah, OnlyFans, ManyVids, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but I haven't like done a lot there. So this is another place I'm going to put some attention this year too.
Amanda Thickk, ladies and gentlemen, once again, always on a pleasure. Have you on the show. When we come back, a lot more going on here. Only on it's After Hours, only on the After Hours YouTube channel.